On October 26th of 2011, I went up to the United States Chamber of Commerce, specifically to their Institute for Legal Reform. They were having their 12th annual summit for legal reform, and I felt like the consumers needed to be represented in that forum. What I found was a campaign, a strategy, a very comprehensive strategy, a United States Chamber of Commerce that is and was literally spending millions of dollars to take away the rights of consumers. Well, I just felt like that the presentations were often filled with half-truths. I felt like the presentations were hypocritical. On one hand, the Chamber talks so elegantly about we want to get big business, we want to get big government out of our lives, we want less regulation. Then they turn right around and they talk about all the regulation on jury trials. My reaction was just complete and total frustration, because the politicians, they trust us to vote them into office, but they don't trust us to serve on juries, and that's very frustrating. And I just felt like something had to be done, something had to be said, even if it was a short 2-minute soundbite. Something had to be said to help create accountability in that room.
Governor Haley, I have a question.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have a question, and I guess I need to say this for all in the room. I am a trial lawyer from Arkansas. I'm also a member of the local Chamber of Commerce, and as Frank said, you know, trial lawyers are getting painted with the same brush. And, you know, my concern is that, you know, the Cato Institute just came out with a study that says that, you know, caps are going to hurt legitimate consumers. They're not going to get fair compensation. Secondly, they say that caps mute incentives for physicians to reduce the risk of negligent injuries. That is, we become a less safe society with caps. My other concern is what caps are doing to our constitutional right, as we've heard about today, to a right to a jury trial. And that's why I'm here today, because you make some points, but I don't ever hear the other side, where how caps are hurting legitimately injured people. You talked about caps for frivolous lawsuits, but what about the caps and how they're hurting those individuals who are legitimately hurt, sometimes grievously hurt, and don't get just compensation like we're promised under our Constitution?
You know, I don't think we would be having the conversation of caps if we wouldn't have seen all of the abuses that we've seen on our businesses. And that's what this comes down to, is there have been so many abuses and so much negligence that it has forced us to have to go to caps. And so while I think that there might be exceptions to the rule, that's what the appeal process is for, is to be able to do that. But we have to, in some way, stop what has happened, which is the trial lawyers going on TV encouraging people to sue. And there being this new mentality of, if you want to sue, we'll help you do it, we'll tell you how to do it. And so what it's done is it's put the companies at a complete disadvantage, where they're having to do nothing but fight what the trial lawyers are putting in the heads of the other people. So, you know, it takes a balance. At the end of the day, we want a balance. What we have seen is it's gotten very top-heavy, though, in terms of frivolous lawsuits have caused states to have to do this, have caused companies to start looking at states that have tort reform and have caps. And until we see a better balance of it, or some sort of ethical reform, I think you're going to continue to see some strong caps, at least in South Carolina.
Well, Governor Haley says that there's been so many abuses and so much negligence that we've been forced to go to caps. I would suggest to Governor Haley that because we've had so many abuses by corporations, we've had so much negligence by caps, that we need more accountability, not less. We need more corporate responsibility, not less. That's the only way we're going to become a safer society. The simple truth is that if the U.S. Chamber gets their way, we will have no rights. We must occupy the courtroom steps, because if we don't, we're not going to have the right, the constitutional right to a trial by jury. Americans are going to be left holding the bag for corporate irresponsibility.